Temperature still soaring well over 100 degrees in Phoenix, Arizona, and a lot of people here hoping that their baseball team, the Diamondbacks, can soar in to the Major League Baseball postseason, which is, of course, right around the corner. Just over a month to go in the season, and the Diamondbacks are in the mix. But right now, they're on the outside looking in. They've got the first spot below the wild card cutoff. 2 games between themselves and that last wild card spot currently held by the San Diego Padres. Every game is so very important for Arizona, and tonight they start a very critical series with the Chicago Cubs. Second series meeting of the year between the Cubs and the D-backs, and while Arizona's trying to get into a wild card spot, Chicago for now comfortably has one nailed down. They're in the number 1 wild card spot of the National League. They're 4 games ahead of Arizona and that cut line. So this is a very important series indeed. And we say hello one and all. I'm Matthew Owens. Welcome to Arizona. Thanks for having us in for the baseball. Very important series as we talked about. It was a very important week and weekend for both of these teams that they just come away from. For the Diamondbacks, it didn't go as well as they thought it would. Here at home, they lost a game on Saturday to Cincinnati. They did win the series, taking 2 out of 3, but before that, they lost a series in Boston to the red-hot Red Sox. It's been up and down, 10-10 over their last 20 games for Arizona. They're going to have to be more than just average if they're to break in to this playoff mix before the regular season winds down. Meanwhile, for the Chicago Cubs, they had that electrifying series at Wrigley Field against the White Sox where they took 2 out of 3. They lost the first 2 on the road in Seattle, but then yesterday exploded for 19 runs in a 19-2 slugging of the Mariners. So Chicago stays out west here for a set here with Arizona. Very important for both of these teams. Pitching matchup tonight is an interesting one. Kevin Gausman, who will make it just his 4th start of the year for Chicago. Arizona will send out veteran Merrill Kelly as the 37-year-old trots out onto the diamond at Chase Field and gets ready to go for this, as mentioned, very important game and series. Arizona at 69-62 this season. They're 38-28 at home under the management of Torey Lovullo. For Chicago and Craig Counsell's Cubs, 37-29 on the road this year. They're 19 games over 500 overall at 75-46. Kelly taking the mound for his 24th start of the year. He is 8-11 on the season, an ERA of 5.37, which obviously is much higher than he or anyone here in Arizona wants it to be. But there has been pockets of promising pitching from Kelly. It just hasn't been consistent so far this season. And the lineup that he faces from the Cubs is one of the best offensive units in Major League Baseball, starting with Pete Crow Armstrong. He will lead off. An MVP candidate is PCA. He bats in front of Seiya Suzuki. Then it's Michael Busch, Alex Bregman, Ian Happ, Nico Horner, the shortstop, bats 6th. Pedro Ramirez is in front of the 8-hole hitter, Michael Conforto, the designated hitter. The catcher, Carson Kelly, bats in the 9 spot. And they go up against Merrill Kelly, 37-year-old out of Houston, an Arizona State University graduate. Will get his first start of the year against the Cubs. On the other end, Kevin Gausman, the starter for Chicago, he does have a start against Arizona this year. It's while he was with Toronto. Again, this is his 4th start as a Cub. More on Gausman as we go along tonight, as we get set for baseball with the roof closed inside Chase Field. Mentioned the high temperature today in Phoenix was 105 ambient. It's going to be in the 100 teens later this week as these two teams start a 3-game set. As it always is, a lot of Cub fans here on the road. Good environment here at Chase Field tonight. As Kelly gets the ball in his right hand, Pete Crow Armstrong steps to the dish, and the first pitch of the night is a fastball at 92 miles an hour high for ball one, and we are underway. PCA, as mentioned, an MVP candidate. 1-0 pitch is in for a called strike. Elevated fastball makes it 1-1. He's been terrific all season. He leads Major League Baseball in wins above replacement. Leads the National League in slugging and OPS. Takes a 1-1 pitch and swings it the other way. A fly ball to left. That's in play for Kepler to make the grab. And PCA is retired, and that's the way this one gets started. That will bring up Seiya Suzuki. Batting .270 on the season. These two teams had a 3-game series in Chicago earlier this year. Suzuki went 2 for 11 in that series. Kelly deals. First pitch to Suzuki. Fastball missed low and away for ball one. Kelly will use the fastball and the changeup most of the time. 27% he uses both the fastball and the changeup, as the 1-0 is a fastball low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes to Suzuki. So those two pitches combined for over half of his usage. He's also got a cutter, a curve, and a slider, and then a sinker that he doesn't use all that much. Here's a 2-0. That misses wide with a fastball at 94. That's about where that fastball will max out at, in the mid-90s, and he's fallen behind 3 balls and no strikes to Suzuki. Suzuki with 22 home runs and 74 RBIs this season. Swings on a 3-0. Bounces it to third. Nolan Arenado up with it there. Throw across the diamond is in time for 2 away. And Suzuki with a 3-0 green light ends up grounding out and gets Kelly off the hook there for 3 straight missed fastballs. Michael Busch, the 3-hole hitter, hitting .244 on the season is Busch, batting from the left side against the right-hander Kelly, who kicks and fires. Fastball is wide for ball one. Slugging at .395 this season with a .747 OPS, 5 for 10 in that series against Arizona earlier this year. Curveball from Kelly misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Plug NFL is with us in the comments. Rob Johnson says, let's go. Glad to have everyone with us. If you're on the East Coast, late Friday night, another curveball from Kelly misses up and away. 3 balls, no strikes. Fairly late in Chicago in the Central Time Zone. 8:40 first pitch, as here's the 3-0. And that's a called strike with a fastball on the outside edge, says home plate umpire Lance Barrett. Busch had already dropped the bat and was heading to first. He thought it was ball 4, and he would have won a challenge had he triggered an ABS challenge. Didn't want to use it this early. 3-1 pitch from Kelly, however, catches with a changeup, and it's 3-2. So perhaps Busch might be regretting not challenging that 3-0 pitch, because it clearly would have been ball 4. Instead, count is worked full by Kelly. Right-hander comes home with the payoff pitch that's swung on a changeup and tapped foul. Busch has drawn 72 walks this season, most on the Chicago team. 3rd most strikeouts of any Cub batter at 131. The next 3-2 from Kelly, and Busch swings and misses on a disappearing changeup. So Kelly comes back from 3-0 down to both Suzuki and Busch, gets those two back-to-back after getting Pete Crow Armstrong to start it, and it's a 1-2-3 first frame for 37-year-old Merrill Kelly on the mound for Arizona. So the Cubs down in order to start And it'll be the Diamondbacks to come to the plate for the first time in just a moment. As I mentioned, Arizona has gone 10-10 over their last 20 games. They're 2 games back of San Diego for the third and final wild card spot in the National League. Of course, for anyone that's in the National League West, your only hope to get into the playoffs is to get a wild card spot. The Dodgers are 9 clear of the Padres, 11 ahead of Arizona. And then, of course, we don't even mention San Francisco and Colorado in the National League West. So those wild card spots, what both the Padres and the Diamondbacks are shooting for, and there's 2 games separating those 2 division rivals for that final spot. And those 2 teams will play each other quite deliciously in the last series of the regular season. It'll be at Petco Park in San Diego on September 25th, 26th, and 27th, the Diamondbacks and the Padres, because of course it works out that way. Kevin Gausman to the mound for Chicago. His 4th start as a Cub coming up. They got him from Toronto. It'll be his 27th start overall for the season. He's compiled a 6-11 record with an ERA of 4.58. Really good strike-to-walkout ratio, which is better than 3.5. And he'll settle in against designated hitter Lars Nootbaar, who starts at the dish for Arizona, and he takes a fastball at 93 for a called strike. Nootbaar hitting .224 on the season. 0-1 pitch swung on and served in the air down the left field line. That is hooking towards foul territory, but coming over his Happ to make the grab in the corner, and there's 1 away. So Nootbaar flies out to left. And it'll bring up Corbin Carroll, perhaps the best Diamondback hitter on this Arizona roster, and he's certainly acted like it of late. The 26-year-old from Seattle is on a heck of a run. He was 6 of 12 in the weekend series against Cincinnati, which the Diamondbacks took 2 out of 3 of. He fouls away the first pitch, although he's just 1 for 12 at the plate against Chicago this season. .253 hitter. Here's the 0-1 from Gausman. Fastball misses high for ball 1. Carroll has 12 extra base hits in his last 17 games and leads this Arizona team in slugging at .493. The 1-1 pitch is a fastball hit the other way, foul and out of play. Count is 1-2. He's been an all-star in 3 of his first 5 seasons. Mentioned he went 6 for 12 against Cincinnati over the weekend. He had 2 hits in all 3 of those games. 1-2 is right down the heart of the plate with a fastball for a called strike 3. So he strikes out looking there, and he knew it. Straight away, everyone knew it. It was middle. And Gausman gets a quick punch out of Carroll, and there's 2 gone in front of Gabriel Moreno, the Arizona catcher, who has quietly been one of their best players this season. He leads the team in batting at .306. Bats here with nobody on and 2 out, and he takes a fastball for a strike at 93. 26-year-old catcher from Venezuela had 2 RBIs against the Reds over the weekend. He's hit a career-high 10 home runs this season. The 0-1 fastball misses low to even up the count. Also a career high in RBIs with 64. It's the only Diamondback hitting over 300 on the season. 1-1. Elevated fastball missed high for ball 2, and a challenge coming from Carson Kelly, the Chicago catcher, who taps his mask. See if he is right or if Lance Barrett is right. Barrett, the home plate umpire. First ABS challenge of the night. And that fastball did catch the upper part of the zone, so that's straight 2 on an overturn. And the count goes to 1-2 as Gausman looks to match Kelly with his own 1-2-3 inning. Righty versus righty matchup here. Gausman kicks and deals to Moreno. Split finger pitch, which he uses quite a bit, misses low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gausman uses that splitter 39% of the time, second most behind only his fastball, which he uses over half the time. Mentioned this is his 4th start as a Cub. He's 1-1 in 3 starts. Got a no decision as he got the start Tuesday night against the White Sox at Wrigley. 2-2 pitch is swung on and pumped in the air to center by Moreno. Plenty of space out there for Pete Crow Armstrong. He puts it away, and it is a 1-2-3 first frame from Gausman, just as it was for his counterpart on the bump, Merrill Kelly. So the Diamondbacks go down in order, and that's the way this one gets started. We are underway in Chase Field in Phoenix. You wouldn't exactly think of this as a pitcher's duel kind of a game, with 2 pitchers on the bump with records of 8-11 and 6-11 on the season, but you just never know. But a good start for both the starters here in tonight's game. Of course, we bring you a late game here on this Monday. Plenty of baseball has already taken place here on this Monday night. And a lot still going on as well. The Red Sox with yet another win. Sometimes it seems like they may not lose again. They beat the Marlins tonight in Miami 4-2. The Rays with a win over the Tigers in Detroit. 4-1 Tampa Bay victory. Washington dismantled Colorado 13-3. Many late games are in progress. The Rangers lead the White Sox in the 6th inning 8-2. Big game there. Guardians and Angels just underway, so too are the Twins and the Athletics. The Phillies have already scored a run early in Seattle. We'll have that game for you on the channel tomorrow night. Phillies and Mariners. Padres and Pirates are scoreless through 1, and the Reds and Giants are just underway. We'll keep you abreast to all of what is happening across Major League Baseball next to this game that we bring you here tonight between the Cubs and the Diamondbacks as we go to the top of the 2nd. A 1-2-3 first inning for Merrill Kelly on the mound for Arizona, and he'll try to carry that momentum into the 2nd inning, where he'll start with Alex Bregman. Bregman, of course, the former World Series champion with Houston. Matt's here to lead off the 2nd. Wanted to show bunt, it looks like. Took it away, but Kelly fired a sinker perfectly on the inside edge for a called strike 1. Bregman hitting .256 on the season. Here's the 0-1 offering to him. Swings and fouls away a changeup, and he's quickly in a 0-2 hole. .346 on base percentage, a .767 OPS for Bregman, who's one home run shy of 20. The 0-2 is swung on, driven on a line into left, but it hangs up long enough for Kepler to pull in, and there's one away. So one gone for Ian Happ. Happ, who is hitting .218 on the season with 22 home runs, one of 3 Cubs with 20-plus home runs on the year, along with Crow Armstrong and Suzuki, who was already batted. Good curveball here from Kelly. Drops it in for a called strike. Happ hitting .500 so far this season against Arizona, 4 for 8 with a home run. 0-1 pitch from Kelly. Changeup is hit the other way on a line into left. That's down for the first hit of the game. So Ian Happ is the first to reach base. 1 out single as he serves it the other direction. Good piece of hitting. So Happ is the first base runner of the night in front of Nico Hoerner. Hoerner, the Chicago shortstop, hitting .263 on the season. Kelly, the right-hander from the stretch for the first time, comes home, slider catches for a called strike. Mentioned Lance Barrett is our home plate umpire tonight. He's joined by Malachi Moore at first, Alfonso Marquez at second, and Mike Estabrook at third. Here's a pickoff attempt by Kelly. In safely as Happ. Ball skipped away from the first baseman, Tawa, but he was able to recover without any advancement. No balls and a strike to Hoerner. Kelly rubbing up the ball on the mound. Right-hander comes set, kicks and fires. Hoerner digs for it, hits a changeup to the backstop, foul. Max Kepler in left field for Arizona. Ryan Waldschmidt in center and Corbin Carroll in right. Arenado, Perdomo, Vargas, and Tawa the infield from left to right. And Gabriel Moreno is the catcher behind the plate, catching from the right-hander Merrill Kelly, who snaps another throw over to first. And once again, it gets away from Tawa, the first baseman. He runs it down just outside fair territory, and Happ stays at first again. Happ this year 4 of 5 on stolen base attempts. No balls and 2 strikes. Kelly, right-hander. From the letters, kicks and deals. Hoerner swings, fouls away a pitch to the right side. Count stays at 0-2. Runner on base is Ian Happ at first with 1 away. Top of the second. No score, as you see. Just underway in Chase Field in very hot and toasty Phoenix, Arizona. The Cubs and the Diamondbacks. Kelly with a 1-2-3 first inning. Here's the 0-2. Hoerner swings on an elevated fastball, and he gets under it. Pops it up into shallow left. Kepler coming in, waves off Perdomo, the shortstop who was coming out. Kepler makes the grab, and there's 2 gone. So 2 away for Pedro Ramirez, second baseman that's hitting .285 on the season. He's played in 55 games this year, .343 on base percentage. Bats here with 1 on and 2 out. Takes a changeup that cuts outside for ball 1. Ramirez batting from the left side. 1-0 from Kelly, misses in tight. Check swing, appeal to third. And Mike Estabrook, the third base umpire, said he did go around. It's a strike 1, swing and miss on the check swing that did completely cross the plate. Good call by Mike Estabrook on the appeal. Here's a 1-1. And Ramirez with a swing and a hard-hit ground ball down the first baseline. That is fair into the corner. Happ is on his horse around third. Carroll can't come up with it in the corner. And Happ's going to come all the way around to score easily. Ramirez is into third with an RBI triple. And the Cubs score the game's first run. In the top of the second, it's 1-0 Chicago. So Pedro Ramirez, hard hit bouncer over the bag at first, gets by Tawa, and then it just bounced awkwardly a couple of times off a couple of different barriers. Carroll couldn't come up with it quickly enough. Ian Happ races around. Ramirez with just his second triple of the season, and it's a run-scoring triple. His 21st RBI of the year. Brings up Michael Conforto, who takes a high fastball for ball 1. So it's 1-0 Chicago. Conforto hitting .220 on the year. He's got 31 RBIs. He'd bring in a run with a hit here. Curveball from Kelly misses inside. 2 balls, no strikes. So the Cubs on the front foot here, thanks to a good piece of hitting from Ian Happ to get on base with their first hit as Conforto swings and misses at a changeup below the knees. And then Ramirez scorching a ball and placing it perfectly right down the first base line to get by Tawa, and then Carroll just couldn't find it in the corner. 2-1, changeup fouled off the chest of the catcher, Gabriel Moreno. Moreno gets up, walks off that sting. Actually, got him in the right thigh. Thought it hit his chest guard first. Moreno crouches back down, gets set for a 2-2 with 2 away in the top of the second. Kelly comes home. Conforto takes a good take with a changeup that misses outside. Count runs full. Carson Kelly on deck. Ramirez at third will run with the pitch. Here's the 3-2. Changeup is low, and Conforto draws a walk. So it's gotten away from Merrill Kelly a bit here in this second inning. And now he'll face another Kelly in Carson with runners on the corners. Kelly has 3 RBIs against the Diamondbacks this season. 44 total for the year for the Cub catcher. See what he can do here with runners on the corners. Ramirez at third, and now Conforto at first. First pitch to Carson Kelly. Slider runs inside, ball 1, and that will bring out the catcher, Gabriel Moreno, who will come to talk to his 37-year-old pitcher from Arizona State University by way of Houston, Texas. So the Cubs with the lead. RBI triple by Pedro Ramirez, getting Chicago in front here after they went down in order in the first. So Kevin Gausman staked to an early lead. He also pitched a 1-2-3 first inning. So Merrill Kelly, after that conversation with his catcher Moreno, gets set for a 1-0 pitch to Carson Kelly. Merrill to the plate. Carson takes on the outside edge a strike. I think he looked back at Lance Barrett there, and he is going to challenge. And he is correct. Missed the outside part of the plate. Call is overturned. The second one Barrett's had overturned here in this inning. Count goes to 2-0. Merrill's really got to dig in. Comes to the plate and misses low with a changeup, and it's 3 balls and no strikes, and he's in real danger of loading the bases in front of Pete Crow Armstrong, who has come up in big situation after big situation all year long. 3 balls and no strikes. Merrill Kelly against Carson Kelly. Merrill to the plate. Fastball misses outside. It's ball 4. It's back-to-back walks, and the bases are now loaded. And now we're going to have another meeting on the mound. And this time it's not going to just be Gabriel Moreno. Torey Lovello's going to come out this time around as Pete Crow Armstrong, with the bases loaded, licking his lips at this opportunity. So bases loaded, 2 out, top of the second. Already a run home this inning for Chicago, and now Pete Crow Armstrong, who has 33 home runs and 83 RBIs this season, takes a look at this situation and says, yep, I think I'll enjoy this at-bat. Big opportunity for him. He ranks 7th in the league in Major League Baseball in RBIs, just as he does in home runs. 33 home runs, 83 RBIs, both 7th in all of baseball. Loaded here with 2 out. Kelly to the plate. First pitch swinging in on the hands. It's popped up out of play behind the plate. Kelly's getting close to 30 pitches this inning. Right-hander comes set, deals an 0-1, and misses inside with a fastball. He's given up back-to-back walks, so perhaps a bit surprising that Pete swung on the first pitch the way he did. One of the favorites to win MVP in the National League at the plate here with the bases loaded. 1-1 is swung on and fouled back. Count goes to 1-2. This is really the best Kelly has looked in the last couple of at-bats, really. Ball and 2 strikes. Crow Armstrong digs his heels in. Kelly comes set and delivers, and a foul ball straight back off a sinker. That didn't sink a lot, really. So the count at 1-2. And here comes Kelly to the plate, and Pete Crow Armstrong with a swing and a drive out to straightaway center. Backpedaling to the warning track is Waldschmidt, and he's got it for a crucial 3rd out. And boy, that could have been, it was not very far away at all from a big grand slam to really blow things open. The Cubs score 1, but they leave them loaded in the 2nd. Merrill Kelly gets out of the jam without giving up more than the 1 run, which was driven in by Pedro Ramirez with his 2nd triple of the year. He brings around Ian Happ. And it is a 1-0 Cubs lead through an inning and a half. Boy, that ball scorched out to center. Like I said, did not miss very much at all. And that could have been 5-0. Not even out of the 2nd. So all the Diamondback fans here breathe a sigh of relief. And we'll go to the bottom half of the 2nd inning here. Glad to have you with us on this Monday night. Hope your work week got off, or school week got off to a good start. A lot of kids just getting back into school here. Summer just about over. Of course, try telling that to the people in Phoenix. Temperature in the hundreds all week. If you're going to live in Arizona and you're going to live in Phoenix, I mean, you kind of know what you're signing up for on that. As the Diamondbacks come to the plate, Geraldo Perdomo will lead it off after Kevin Gausman sat the Diamondbacks down in order in the 1st. Right-hander Gausman will come to the plate. Perdomo shows bunt, takes it away, and then takes a pitch inside for ball 1. Perdomo hitting .246 on the season, 4 for 13 this year against Chicago. 1-0 pitch to him is in at the knees, called strike. He was 4 for 13 over the weekend against Cincinnati with an RBI. Steps away from the plate does Perdomo, who was 4th in National League MVP voting a year ago. He had 20 home runs and 100 RBIs last year. Both of those numbers down this year as the 1-1 from Gausman misses inside. He's at 9 and 44 home runs and RBIs, respectively. Well down on that RBI number. 2-1, split finger pitch from Gausman. Misses low, 3-1. Perdomo has drawn more walks than he has struck out this year. 76 walks. And he thought he had ball 4 here. It's a fastball on the outside edge for a called strike, and he is challenging, and he's not going to win this challenge. That is completely inside the outside edge for a strike. So the Diamondbacks lose an ABS challenge here in the second. And the count runs full on Perdomo, who's seen a lot of ball 4s this year, but not there. Here's a 3-2, and that's a called strike 3 at the knees. A fastball in at 94. So from 3-1, 2 terrific pitches, painting edges from Gausman. And he punches out Perdomo. So 1 away for Max Kepler. Stands in, batting from the left side, swings on the first pitch, flares it in the air to right. Suzuki is underneath it, waits for it to drop into the glove for out number 2. Quick second out. Cubs defensively, Happ, Crow Armstrong, and Suzuki is the outfield from left to right. Alex Bregman at third, Nico Horner at short, Pedro Ramirez and Michael Busch at second and first. Carson Kelly is the catcher behind the plate. Catching Kevin Gausman, who's allowed a home run in all 3 of his starts as a Cub. He's 1-1 in 3 starts as he deals a first pitch strike to Nolan Arenado. Here's the 0-1 from Gausman, and that slider gets away from him. He spikes it into the ground. Arenado, of course, who started his career with a long spell in Colorado before spending the last 5 years of his career in St. Louis, now in Arizona. He's hit 21 home runs this year with 65 RBIs. Fastball misses inside. He's hitting .241, slugging .442. Is Arenado. 2-1 pitch is a called strike below the knees, a splitter. And Arenado wants to challenge that, but he knows that they've already lost an ABS challenge this inning, so he doesn't trigger a challenge, but he would have won it. Here's a 2-2, swung on and grounded to third on a bounce. Bregman's got it. His throw across the diamond to Busch is in time, and Gausman has sat down the first 6 Diamondbacks in order. We'll go to the third, a 1-0 lead for Chicago. Really good start for Gausman. As I mentioned, it's been a mixed bag for him in the 3 starts he's had as a Cub. He won his first start 17 days ago, which was in Kansas City. Went 7 full, only allowing 2 runs, but then he gave up 6 runs on 7 hits in less than 5 in his second start, which was a loss in Washington. And then last Tuesday got the start in Wrigley, his first start in Wrigley as a Cub. Against the White Sox, he earned a no decision after giving up 3 runs on 7 hits in 4 1/3. It's a really good start for him here, however. Trying to get that ERA down, which is currently at 6.19 as a Cub, and 4.58 for the season. So the Cubs will come back to the plate after a second inning where they scored 1 and left the bases loaded, with Pete Crow Armstrong hitting a deep fly ball to center that just stayed in the yard with the bases loaded. It really took the air out of the lungs of a lot of Diamondback fans. Seiya Suzuki will lead off this third inning for Chicago. Suzuki had a hit in every game of the 3-game set in Seattle over the weekend. Takes a strike on the inside corner with a cutter as we get the third frame started. Grounded out to third his first time up did Suzuki. Was 4 for 12 in that series against the Mariners. Here's an 0-1. Slider from Merrill Kelly misses outside. Ball and a strike. Suzuki also drew 3 walks in yesterday's game. Takes low here for ball 2. Game in which the Cubs scored 19 runs. A 19-2 beatdown of Seattle. The Mariners taking 2 real beatdowns last week at the hands of NL Central opponents. Slider from Kelly misses low. He really struggled finding the strike zone in the second, and he hasn't started out any better here. To begin the third, he's 3-1 behind on Suzuki, who does swing at a fastball on 3-1 and foul it off. Five RBI games for Ian Happ and Pedro Ramirez yesterday, a part of the 19 runs that they had against Seattle, and they factored in scoring the run in the last inning. 3-2, Kelly to the plate, and a called strike 3 on the outside corner at 95, well placed, and Suzuki is a strikeout victim to start the third as he watches it land on that outside edge. Second strikeout for Kelly in front of Michael Busch. First pitch to Busch is a changeup below the knees, hacked at and missed. For strike 1, Busch was 1 for 3 with 2 walks in that game against Seattle yesterday. 0-1 pitch from Kelly. Changeup misses outside. He also had a hit in all 3 of those games in the Pacific Northwest over the weekend, did Busch. Going 4 for 12, 1-1. Slider is clubbed at and missed. As Kelly just hit the 50 pitch mark. Kelly with an 0-3 record in the month of August with an ERA of over 8. Here's a 1-2, changeup, snapped at and missed by Busch, and he's gone on strikes back-to-back. K's hung up by Kelly to get the first 2 outs of the third. That'll bring up Alex Bregman. Of course, the Cubs, before that 19-2 win yesterday, lost the first 2 in Seattle. Curveball well placed by Bregman in at the knees, by Kelly rather, for a strike. Bregman lined out in the second. You know, the Cubs, they're in that number 1 wild card spot, but they're only 4 ahead of Arizona. It's not a done deal that they've got a playoff spot sealed up. Of course, it's also not a done deal that the Brewers have the Central sealed up. Chicago's trying to run them down, but that's proving to be very difficult. Curveball in the dirt. Milwaukee's lead is now 6 games on Chicago with about a month to play. Bregman 4 for 12 in the Seattle series with 3 home runs and 6 RBIs. 2-1 is an elevated cutter that is a called. It's went uncalled by Lance Barrett for ball 3, but Gabriel Moreno is challenging. Oh boy, and he's just gotten it right. Caught a very small sliver of the upper edge. That's important because had he gotten that wrong, they would have been out of challenges for the rest of this game. So the count's 2-2, and Kelly delivers, and Bregman swings and grounds it hard to third, but Arenado swallows it up. Throw to first is in time, and Kelly, after a very shaky second inning, sits the Cubs down in order in the third. Arizona still looking for their first base runner. They trail 1-0. So again, the last month of the baseball season is here, and boy, oh boy, is it going to be a very dramatic last month of the year. Speaking of Seattle, they've got the Phillies down 5-2 right now in the second. Philadelphia with an incredible comeback yesterday over St. Louis. They've now won, 8 in a row for the Phillies. Now, that 3-game series between the Phillies and Cardinals, crazy ending Friday night, crazy ending Sunday, but Saturday was 12-3. And which of those 3 games did we choose to bring you on the channel? Oh, yeah, that's right, the 12-3 game. On Saturday, we missed the 2 crazy walk-offs in that series. Mariners up 5-2 in the second right now. Minnesota's got a 1-0 lead on the Athletics. Cleveland leads in Anaheim 1-0. Texas still up on the White Sox in Chicago 8-2 in the 8th. Pirates and Padres scoreless, middle of 3. Giants have jumped out on the Reds in the third inning. It's 5-0 San Francisco. 3 finals from earlier today. The Red Sox with a win in Miami 4-2. The Rays over the Tigers in Detroit 4-1. The Nationals beat the Rockies 13-3. We'll have the Tigers for you here on the channel on Friday night. They're still in that AL wildcard mix. Currently, they are 4 games out of a wild card spot in the American League, but a lot of teams to leapfrog. We'll have the Tigers for you hosting the Dodgers on the channel Friday night. Kevin Gausman goes back to work. First pitch to Tim Tawa is fouled back for strike 1. Tawa, the first baseman, hitting .250 on the season with 8 home runs and 32 RBIs. All 6 batters sat down in order for Arizona here so far, but Tawa swings on an elevated slider and lashes it on a line into left field for a base hit. So he'll be the first Arizona base runner of the night as the 7-hole hitter leads off the third with a base hit. Went after that slider, which Gausman just hung up. Good contact there. That'll bring up Ildemaro Vargas. First pitch he sees from Gausman. Fastball on the outside edge for a strike. Vargas is hitting .261 this year. He's hit the Cubs well this year, 5 for 12 with an RBI. Gausman with 9 home runs and 63 driven in this season. Gausman swing back and forth on the mound, comes home with an 0-1. Vargas swings and pops one up foul. Down the left field line, it will just get out of play. Vargas yesterday against Cincinnati went 2 for 4, had a double and a triple, drove in a pair of runs. He was 2 for 11 in that series against the Reds over the weekend. Here's an 0-2. Sticks the bat out and hooks a fly ball foul to the right side. And out of play. Second-year Diamondback. He only played 38 games with Arizona last year. He's played 115 this time around. He started his career with Arizona from 2017 to 19. Then he bounced around here, there, and everywhere. Minnesota, Pittsburgh, Washington, and a couple of stints with the Cubs. 0-2 from Gausman working out of the stretch for the first time tonight. Vargas fouls it off the opposite way. Tonight is Vargas' 574th career game in the big leagues. 9 home runs is a career high. Batting from the left side against the right-hander Gausman, who fires the 0-2, and it's a called strike 3 at the knees. Again, Vargas hesitates and thinks about a challenge, but again, Arizona's already used and lost one tonight, so Vargas walks away. It would have been really, really tight. I think it just caught a sliver, top of the ball just caught a sliver of the bottom of the zone, and Gausman has his third strikeout. So one away for Ryan Waldschmidt. Center fielder takes a splitter right over the heart of the plate. Hitting .277 this season is Waldschmidt with 19 RBIs for the 23-year-old out of Sarasota. Here's an 0-1. Fastball is wide. Rookie that went to both Charleston Southern and the University of Kentucky. Was a first-round pick by Arizona 2 years ago. Big lead at first from Tawa as the 1-1 is ripped at and missed by Waldschmidt. Just got a piece of it, actually. Very subtle foul tip. Tawa with a lot of herky-jerk moves over there at first. He's 7 for 10 in stolen base attempts this year as Tawa. He's got the oven mitt on over there at first. 1-2 from Gausman. Waldschmidt fouls that splitter away. Count stays put at 1-2. Tawa at first, one away, bottom of the third. Diamondbacks batting down by a run. Pedro Ramirez with an RBI triple in the top of the second gave Chicago the lead. Gausman will snap a throw over to first, and they got Tawa caught. He's running to second. Bush threw it to Ramirez, who throws it back to Gausman, and they've got him caught, and Gausman is the one that tags him out, so Tawa gets picked off. And a base runner, first of the night for Arizona, is erased. So 2 away and 2 strikes as well on Waldschmidt. Here's the 1-2 delivery and a swing and a miss. So Gausman gives up his first base runner of the night, but he has still faced the minimum after Tawa got caught on the base paths. 2 strikeouts that inning, 4 for the game for Gausman. And we're through 3 in Arizona. The Cubs with a 1-0 lead. Again, tomorrow here on the channel, tomorrow night we'll have this same time slot, actually, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, Phillies and Mariners, Game 2 of their interleague series. So we've got that for you tomorrow night. As for the next month, we'll close out the baseball regular season. Friday night, we'll have Dodgers and Tigers. And then the current plan is for us to have Red Sox and Yankees for you on Sunday afternoon at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. That is, of course, if we're not racing at Daytona on Sunday. You always have to plan in the possible extra day at Daytona due to rain. Of course, the last race before the chase for the NASCAR Cup Series comes up on Sunday night, the Coke Zero Sugar 400 from Daytona. Our scheduled airtime Saturday night is 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's another busy week on the channel. What an incredibly busy weekend it was on the channel, but my goodness, was it incredibly productive and exciting with the Premier League season getting underway. And of course, we finished match week 1 of the Premier League earlier today with a 5-goal game between Chelsea and Fulham. Merrill Kelly starts his 4th inning of work Ian Happ is who he starts with, and a first pitch called strike to Happ, who singled and scored in the second. Here's the 0-1 from Kelly, and here's a swing and a hard one bouncing shot to second, taken by Vargas on a snare. His throw to first is in time, and there's one away. That was hit right on the screws by Happ. Vargas with a good play on a bounce to grab it. So Happ is retired for the first time, and there's one gone for Nico Hoerner. Hoerner had a hit in every game in Seattle over the weekend. Was 3 of 12, first pitch swinging and a foul ball. Flew out to left field. First time up did Hoerner, who is on a run of hitting safely in 6 of his last 7 games. No balls and a strike, and a swing and a miss on a slider. That was tailing away from him at the knees. It's 0-2. That was Kelly's 60th pitch of the night. Here's the 0-2. Hoerner hits it hard down the third baseline, but it's just foul. Nolan Arenado was not going to get to that, and it wasn't foul by very much. Count stays where it is at no balls and 2 strikes to Nico Hoerner. Pedro Ramirez, who had the RBI triple in the second, is on deck. 0-2, Kelly kicks and fires. Hoerner checks his swing, and he did go around on a slider that was outside of the zone away, but he couldn't check up in time. And Hoerner is a strikeout victim, and Kelly suddenly is retired 6 in a row after that shaky second inning. It's his 4th strikeout. 2 gone for Ramirez. Left-hander takes high and tight for ball 1. It was his second triple of the season for Pedro, who's playing in his 56th game of the year. Curveball down and in, check swing. No swing, says the third base umpire, Mike Estabrook. 2 balls and no strikes for the 22-year-old from Timbledor, Venezuela. First season in the big leagues. 2-0 pitch. Good curveball in for a called strike at the knees. He was 3 for 6 with a home run and 5 RBIs yesterday, was Ramirez. So now 6 RBIs in the last game and change for him. 2-1. Cutter is high, ball 3. He ended up going 4 for 14 in the series against Seattle because of that 3-hit game yesterday. 3-1, swung on and pumped in the air to center field and deep. Waldschmidt backpedaling, gets his eyes on it, and at the edge of the warning track, reaches up and makes the grab. 1-2-3 inning again for Kelly, second straight inning where he has sat down the Cubs in order. He's retired 7 straight. Chicago's up 1-0 as we go to the home half of the 4th. Three-game series between the Cubs and Diamondbacks. Tomorrow, Clay Holmes and Brandon Pfaadt is the projected starting pitchers, and then it'll be Matthew Boyd for Chicago and Eduardo Rodriguez for Arizona in the Wednesday matinee at 12:40 local time in Phoenix on Wednesday. Then the Cubs will return home after this trip out west for the weekend series hosting Cincinnati. The Reds, of course, have fallen out of the playoff race in the National League. Disappointing year for the Reds. They're 9 games out of a wild card spot, and they are currently being beaten down by the Giants 5-0 middle of the third in that game out in San Francisco. Rangers have added another run on the White Sox. It's now Texas leading 9-2. They're in the ninth. Twins have added a run on the Athletics as well. Minnesota's up 2-0 there in the third. And of course, anytime I read out an Athletics score, I have to keep myself from saying Oakland. It's not easy. Cubs with a run on 2 hits. Threw 4 times to the plate. Arizona to the plate for the 4th time. They do not have a run on just 1 hit. It's back to the top of the order. Lars Nootbaar takes strike 1 from Kevin Gausman. Now an 0-1 pitch, swung on and guided on the ground to first. Bush has it. Covering the bag is Gausman, and he's there for the flip. And there's quickly 1 away. So Nootbaar is retired. On just 2 pitches, it brings up Corbin Carroll again. Carroll, who has really picked it up here in August. First pitch to him is a splitter that just misses outside. Mentioned earlier, he has 12 extra base hits in his last 17 games. Gausman's 1-0 to him. That's in for a strike at the knees with a fastball. Gausman has faced the minimum. He allowed a hit last inning from Tim Tawa, who he then picked off. 1-1 is swung on and missed. Fastball at 94 over the heart of the plate that Carroll could not contact. Arizona State Sun Devil leads Arizona in slugging at .493 this season. He also leads Major League Baseball in triples, which is becoming his calling card. He's led all of the big leagues in triples the last 2 years, and he's trying to do it again. He has 16. 1-2 is high. Check swing, appeal to third, no swing. Says Mike Estabrook, 2 balls and 2 strikes. For Carroll, who went to Arizona State by way of Lakeside High School in Seattle. 2-2 is in the dirt. He checks his swing there as well. And it's a full count with Gabriel Moreno, very dangerous Diamondback hitter, on deck. Carroll 6 of 12 against Cincinnati over the weekend. Payoff pitch from Gausman is wide at 94, and it is a 1-out walk for Carroll. And that'll bring on Gabriel Moreno. Has a career-high 64 RBIs this season. Gold Glove catcher from 3 seasons ago. So 1 on and 1 out. And the first pitch to Moreno is in for a strike at the knees. Carroll on the base paths. 18 stolen bases this year, and he's only been caught 3 times, so dangerous runner over there. Gausman does not check him here. The 0-1 is a splitter low. Moreno, then Perdomo. As Arizona tries to get the run back that they gave up in the second. High and tight is this fastball at 94 from Gausman. Chicago with the gray shirts, the royal blue lettering with white trim, blue numbers, and gray pants. 2-1. Moreno goes fishing and swings and misses at a splitter that was well low. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gausman Looks into his catcher, Carson Kelly. Now Gosman steps off, stretches the arms up over the head. At the plate, Moreno tightens the elbow pad as the 2-2 from Gosman. From the stretch, and Carroll leading at first. It's a snap throw to first from Gosman. Carroll's back in with a slide. Moreno taps the plate with the end of his bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Tight hold at first from Bush. Gosman comes home. Moreno swings and pops it up on the infield to the right side. Bush has to go just behind the bag, both feet just inside the chalk and fair territory. He reaches up and makes the grab, and there's 2 away. Unproductive out from Gabriel Moreno. It'll bring up Geraldo Perdomo. Perdomo struck out his first time up. 26-year-old from the Dominican Republic. First pitch to him is taken on the outside edge for a called strike. Carroll went running. The throw by Kelly is not in time, and Carroll has his 19th stolen base of the year. He's only been nabbed 3 times. He had his mind set that eventually he was going to run. He was just picking his moment. So he's into scoring position with 2 out. It was a called strike on the first pitch to Perdomo. Now Gosman looks back over his right shoulder, looks straight at Carroll at second. Now turns his attention to the plate and delivers. Fastball at 95 is low and in. Bottom of the 4th here, as you see. That last pitch from Gosman was his 50th of the night. Puts his attention on Carroll, now delivers to the plate. 1-1 is a fastball that misses up and away. Max Kepler on deck. Perdomo has 44 RBIs so far this season. Gosman sways back and forth on the bump, delivers. Carroll's running to third. The pitch was high, and Carroll is safe on the throw by Kelly. Bregman applied a tag that was tight, but not in time. And it's back-to-back stolen bags for Carroll. He swipes second and third. And he's got 20 thefts on the season. So runner at third. Count is 3-1. Carroll doing all he can here to draw the Diamondbacks level. 3-1 to Perdomo, swung on, pulled on the ground to first. Bush has it. Underhanded flip to a covering. Gosman on the bag is in time, and despite Carroll's best efforts, the Diamondbacks still trail 1-0 through 4, as it's no runs on 1 hit, no errors. 1 left. And we'll head to the 5th. And the Cubs holding on to a 1-0 lead. Talked about how Carroll has been red hot of late. Got that hit and then swiped 2 bags, but Perdomo unable to bring him across. Out-of-town scoreboard. Angels have tied up the Guardians. They are tied at 1 at the end of the 4th. The Rangers tacked on 2 more in Chicago against the White Sox. Texas now up 11-2 as they go to the bottom of the 9th. Twins lead the Athletics 2-1, middle of 4. Seattle's added another run. They lead Philadelphia 6-2, bottom of 3. Phillies on that, 9-game winning streak. And they're still scoreless between Pittsburgh and San Diego. They're heading to the 5th. San Francisco still leads Cincinnati through 3. 5-0. Other series that get started tomorrow includes Dodgers-Braves, big one there in the National League, towards the top of the National League. Brewers are at the Mets. Orioles are in St. Louis. Just can't quite figure out the Orioles. And then the Astros are in the Bronx. Merrill Kelly into his 5th inning of work. Deals a fastball low to Michael Conforto for ball 1. Conforto drew a walk back in the 2nd, his first time up. Kelly delivers. Conforto swings and lines one into right field. That's a base hit. It'll go to the alley as Carroll is unable to cut it off. So Conforto will get on his horse and get to 2nd, and he leads off the Chicago 5th inning with a double. So Michael Conforto wastes no time, getting things going for Chicago in the 5th. 13th double of the year for Conforto. And now the 9-hole hitter Carson Kelly has the responsibility of, at the very least, getting him over to 3rd. The Cub catcher swings on the first pitch and grounds it to short. He will not advance him to 3rd. Perdomo scoops it up and throws to 1st in time for a crucial first out, and Conforto has to stay put where he is at 2nd. So job done by Merrill Kelly, but not Carson Kelly. And that'll bring up Pete Crow Armstrong for a 3rd time. He flew out to deep center with the bases loaded last time up to end the 2nd. Did the 24-year-old MVP candidate. First pitch, breaking ball swung on and fouled the other way. First-round draft pick by the Mets in 2020. He's from Sherman Oaks, California. Coming off a 4-hit series in Seattle over the weekend. The 0-1 is high. As we mentioned earlier, a lot of Cub fans here. They obviously travel well, and Cub fans everywhere around the country. There's a lot here in the ballpark tonight. Ball and a strike pitch from Kelly, and a changeup outside the zone. Waved at and missed. Not close from Pete Crow Armstrong, who has 83 RBIs on the season, 7th most in Major League Baseball. He's well on pace to go over his career high, which he had last year of 95. 1-2 with Conforto at 2nd after he led off the inning with a double into the right field alley. 1-2 from Kelly. Swinging a ground ball to 2nd to advance the runner. Vargas scoops it up on that slow roller. Throw to 1st is in time for out number 2. Going to 3rd is Conforto. He's 90 feet away from scoring with Seiya Suzuki up next. So here's Suzuki. Grounded out to 3rd in the 1st. Struck out looking last time up in the 3rd. See what he's able to do here. First pitch to him. Runs in with a changeup. One ball, no strikes. Outside target. Kelly comes home, and Suzuki swings and hits a drive down the left field line. In the corner at the wall is Kepler. It's off the wall. In to score is Conforto. Suzuki will get to second as the ball is bobbled between Perdomo and Arenado at third. It's an RBI double by Seiya Suzuki, and the Cubs double their lead. It's 2-0. Well, Kepler was looking to climb the wall there in the corner, but as he made an attempt at it, which was a strange one because he was... It almost looked like he was trying to backhand it, then he left the ground and he clattered into the wall. The ball did too. Now here's Michael Busch as he takes a slider low and in for ball one. 2-0 lead for the Cubs. Their second RBI extra base hit of the night. Pedro Ramirez had an RBI triple in the second, and now it's an RBI double from Suzuki. The 1-0 pitch from Kelly misses outside. Busch with a pair of strikeouts in his 2 at-bats tonight. 2 balls, no strikes, batting from the left side against the righty Merrill Kelly. Checks Suzuki at second, delivers. 2-0 as a changeup swung on and missed. Busch has 2 RBIs in his last 5 games. Here's the 2-1. Change up just slides outside. Count goes to 3-1. Busch had 6 RBIs in the 3-game series between these two earlier this year at Wrigley. 3-game series that the Cubs won all 3 in. 3-1, curveball in for a strike from Kelly. Needed to find the strike zone there and did. Count to 3-2. Again, just trying to limit the damage, just as he did in the second, Kelly, when he gave up a run and was able to strand the bases loaded. Steps off the rubber here prior to a 3-2. Trying to give up no more than just the 1 here in the 5th. His 24th start of the year for 37-year-old right-hander Merrill Kelly. Has really struggled here in the month of August. He's got a payoff pitch to Busch, who swings and bounces it foul to the first base side. In his last outing, Kelly was unable to get through the 5th inning. There's a member of the Cubs coaching staff and a member of the Diamondbacks coaching staff that are really jawing back and forth at one another. The next 3-2 from Kelly misses inside, and Busch has drawn a walk. And there's 2 on base in front of Alex Bregman now. So Busch, who struck out in his first 2 at-bats, gets a ball 4 here. And now Alex Bregman, the 2-time World Series champion, has made a career on coming up with big hits and big at-bats. Not sure this exactly translates to what he and Houston went through all those years ago in many Octobers, but looking for a hit here to open this game up a bit. Another meeting on the mound with Merrill Kelly trying to get through this 5th inning. But he certainly has a difficult task here in Alex Bregman, who went 4 for 12 at the plate over the weekend in Seattle, and he drove in 6 runs in the series, 1 RBI, at least 1 RBI in every game of that series. Bregman has driven in a run in 4 of his last 5 games. He has 69 on the season. 2 on and 2 out. And the first pitch to him is a called strike. Good sinker in at 94. Kelly up to 84 pitches. Here's the 0-1, and that slider missed by a large margin, low and away. Bush at first, Suzuki at second. 2-0 Cubs lead, top of the 5th in Arizona. Here's Kelly. From the letters, kicks, fires. 1-1 is waved at and missed. Slider again was off the plate away, but Bregman went for it and came up empty. Falls behind 1-2. Bregman had 1 RBI in the series these two played at Wrigley in early May. 1-2 is low. That was the first 3 days of the month of May. The last time these two played. Bregman was 2 of 12 with 1 RBI that series. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 2 on, 2 out. And the Cubs trying to add on to a 2-0 lead. Bregman with a swing, and he pops up a fastball that gets out of play. Count stays put at 2-2. Diamondbacks trying to make up a 2-game deficit for the final wild card spot in the National League. They're behind San Diego. 2-2 to Bregman. Swung on and lifted high in the air down the right field line. Drifting foul. Tawa off first towards the dirt. Makes the catch as he looks up into the lights and grabs it for out number 3. So the Cubs, back in the second, scored 1, stranded 3. Here in the 5th, they score 1 and strand 2. We'll go to the bottom of the 5th. It is 2-0 Chicago as they do bring a run across on an RBI base hit by Seiya Suzuki. Suzuki able to double home Michael Conforto, who led off the inning with a double, but unable to do any more than that. So Arizona down a pair. And again, trying to run down the Padres, who are in action right now at home against Pittsburgh, scoreless in the bottom of the 5th that game. As I mentioned earlier, in case you missed it, it's Arizona at San Diego in the last weekend of the regular season. So if the standings are still like they are now, it sets the scene for quite the enticing final series of the regular year between those two. But still a long way to go. A month of baseball still left in this regular season. And a lot can happen. And the Phillies are in 2 chase downs. They're trying to run down Chicago for the number 1 wild card in the National League. They're also trying to run down Atlanta in the East, so they wouldn't even have to worry about a wild card. And if you can win the East, and if you can win your division in the National League, there's a chance you don't even have to worry about a wild card series. It's going to be very interesting to see who gets those top seeds in the National League between the Dodgers, the Brewers, and whoever does win the East. As Max Kepler comes to the plate, he'll lead off the Arizona 5th. Diamondbacks trailing 2-0. Kevin Gausman's first pitch misses outside for ball 1. Was called a strike. Kepler challenged, and it was overturned. Now here is a splitter in for a strike, 1-1. 2-0 as we play in the bottom of the 5th. Gosman on 1-1 comes home. That's in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. 5, 6, and 7 due up with Kepler, Arenado, and Tawa. Both of these coaching staffs have really been drawing back and forth at one another here. Splitter misses outside. It's 3-1. Obviously, absolutely no idea what's being said and who all is saying, but apparently Quentin Berry, third base coach for Chicago, has been a part of it. There's a called strike on the outside corner from Gosman. It's the count full on Kepler. Here's the 3-2. Swing and a ground ball spinning to second. Taken by Ramirez. Throw to first in time. And there's one away. Brings up Nolan Arenado. 0 for 1 with a second inning ground out. Hitting .241 for the season is Arenado. And Gosman comes to the plate with his 60th pitch of the night, and he fires in a strike right over the heart of the plate with a fastball at 93. 0-1. Fastball just off the inside part of the plate. Ball 1. I think perhaps a Carson Kelly challenge. He has challenged it, and he's going to get it overturned. Call overturned on the ABS challenge. Cubs are 3 for 3 on challenges tonight. And the count now goes to 0-2, as you see. Gosman ahead of Arenado comes to the plate. Nolan swings and fouls it off to the left side. After this series concludes on Wednesday, Diamondbacks start a 4-game series against the Giants in San Francisco. 0-2 is fouled away by Arenado. They'll play a doubleheader on Saturday with a makeup game in there. So that is a 4-game series to be played over 3 games, Thursday, Friday, and then a Saturday doubleheader in San Francisco. 0-2, Arenado with a swing and a pop-up. Foul territory left side, drifting over to the dirt. Bregman is going to have enough room. He reaches up, makes the catch, and there's 2 gone. Gosman really pitching extremely well. The way he's going, it's going to be his best start as a Cub if he keeps this up. Here's Tawa, the only Diamondback to record a hit so far. Takes a called strike on the outside corner. Tawa singled in the third, but then was picked off on the base paths by Gosman. Here's the 0-1, and that's in for a strike at the knees. Fastball right on that bottom edge. Quickly 0-2. They only have 2 base runners so far on the night, Arizona. Tawa with that third inning hit, and then Carroll drew a walk in the fourth. 0-2, swung on and lined into right field. That is dipping quickly, but not too quick, as Suzuki races underneath it and makes the grab. And that is a 1-2-3 inning for Gosman to get us to the end of the 5th. Chicago leading Arizona 2-0. Be back in a moment. We head to the 6th inning here with the Cubs leading the Diamondbacks 2-0. Ian Happ leads off the 6th inning against Merrill Kelly, who stays in. Throws his 90th pitch of the night to start the 6th. It is high for ball one. To Happ, who singled and scored back in the 2nd inning. On 1-0, he swings and hits a ground ball hard to first. Tawa's got it. He shovels to the bag, where Kelly is covering for out number one. So Kelly gets Happ quickly. And that'll bring up Nico Hoerner. Hoerner 0 for 2 on the night. Kelly getting through 5 and now change as Hoerner takes a first pitch strike, pumped in. Probably won't go much further than this, one would think, for Kelly. 37-year-old, this is one of his better outings in a while. 0-1 pitch, misses wide. He's given up 6 earned runs in each of his last 2 starts, has Kelly, and given up 11 walks over his last 3. 1-1, off the plate away. Last time that he went beyond the 6th inning, as the 2-1 by Hoerner is swung on and cranked foul out of play on the right side. Last time that he went beyond the 6th inning was back on July 9th in San Diego, where he went 7 full against the Padres. 2-2, and another foul ball by Hoerner. As we said, it's been a difficult August for Merrill Kelly. 8.24 ERA in 4 starts in this month. As the 2-2 is swung on, a fly ball out to center field. Waldschmidt has to take a few steps to his left, but he's got it. And there's 2 away, rather. Two fairly quick outs in front of Pedro Ramirez. Yeah, we talked about giving up walks. He has given up 15 walks in his 4 starts in August, has Kelly coming into this one tonight. Giving up 3 tonight as well. Here's Ramirez, who he gave up an RBI triple to back in the 2nd. First pitch is low. A run in the 2nd. For Chicago, and then a run in the 5th. And here's a line shot into right off the bat of Ramirez, who stays hot. He's got his 2nd hit of the night, as that's a 2-out base knock. Hard hit ball into right field. So 2 hits tonight for Pedro Ramirez. And this coming off of a game in which he went crazy against Seattle yesterday. That will be it for Merrill Kelly, as he will exit this game going 5 2/3. He ended up allowing 2 runs on 5 hits through 5 2/3. And he is responsible for the runner at first here with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Right-hander Taylor Clark comes in out of the bullpen for Arizona for his 59th appearance of the year. He's pitched to a 2.31 ERA across 58 and a third innings, has more than a 50% ground ball rate. He's the first pitcher to come in out of the bullpen for Arizona tonight. He deals ball one to Michael Conforto, who bats with one on and two out. Conforto's been on base twice tonight, walked his first time up, and here he swings and drives one into right. Back at the wall, this is way deep and way gone, and Michael Conforto, boy, has he ever greeted Taylor Clark. He clangs a two-run home run into right, and the Cubs are up 4-0. Well, Michael Conforto finally gives the Cubs the insurance that they have been looking for a few innings now. And the first-year Cub has his 12th home run of the season, 191st of his career. And indeed, the base hit by Ramirez off of Kelly turns out to be crucial. Clark comes in, and on the second pitch he throws, he gives up a home run. Carson Kelly swings and fouls the first pitch he sees away. Cubs have been home run happy in the month of August. That's their 41st home run this month, most by a large margin in all of Major League Baseball, 9 ahead of the other Chicago team. Here's an 0-1 to Carson Kelly that misses outside. So a 4-run Cub lead. What a night for Conforto. 2 for 2. He's been on base 3 times. Now here's a swing and a drive by Carson Kelly deep to left, and that ball is gone. And the Cubs go back-to-back. Carson Kelly jolts one out, and this is turned into a nightmare on the mound for Clark. He's only thrown, 5 pitches? And he's given up 2 home runs. Carson Kelly's got his 8th of the year. 5-0, Chicago. Five pitches from Clark. He's given up 2 home runs. Pete Crow Armstrong with a swing and a foul ball down the first base line. He's 0 for 3 tonight as PCA. And Clark, reeling on the mound, comes home. And a half swing and a miss by Crow Armstrong puts him down 0-2. So some separation now for Chicago here in the 5th. A 3-run 6th inning, a 5-0 lead. 0-2 from Clark. And Pete Crow Armstrong with a swing and a fly ball slicing down the left field line into the corner. Kepler's got it to retire the side. Pete Crow Armstrong frustrated as he's 0 for 4 on the night. But the Cub fans, and there are a lot of them here in Arizona, brought to their feet on back-to-back home runs. A 2-run shot by Michael Conforto, and then a solo shot from Carson Kelly. It's 5-0. Arizona with a big hole to dig out of as we go to the bottom of the 6th. We'll return in a moment. Well, now a 5-0 lead for Chicago with a 3-run sixth inning. 2 home runs, back-to-back shots, and now some separation, and Kevin Gausman stays on the mound. He'll start the 6th inning pitching, and he deals first to Ildemaro Vargas, who will lead it off for Arizona. Vargas takes a first pitch strike. Get the home half of the 6th underway. Gausman under 70 pitches. Here's the 0-1. Vargas with a swing and a foul ball out of play to the left side. Arizona only 2 base runners to this point. A Tawa single in the 3rd, a Carroll walk in the 4th, and that's it. The 0-2, and Vargas with a swing and a line shot nailed to right center, dropping, and it drops just in front of a diving Pete Crow Armstrong, and it's down for just their 2nd hit. So Vargas leads off the 6th inning with a hit. That ball was really hit hard, and then it hung in the air for a lot longer than it looked like it would off the bat. It gave Crow Armstrong a chance to come in and dive for it. He just missed it, but Suzuki was there to cut it off, so it didn't turn into extra bases. So it's a leadoff hit for Vargas. He's on base in front of Ryan Waldschmidt, who takes first pitch off speed that misses inside. And a challenge from Carson Kelly. Cubs have been correct on all 3 of their challenges tonight, and Kelly is correct on this one. It caught the inside corner. Cubs have put Lance Barrett to shame tonight. Strike 1. Gausman from the stretch, which he hasn't had to do much tonight. Comes home, Waldschmidt swings, high hanging foul ball gets out of play into row 12 on the right side. Diamondbacks have just not been able to get to Gausman tonight, who has looked as sharp as he has in a Cub uniform this year. The 0-2 is low. Check swing by Waldschmidt, and home plate umpire Lance Barrett makes the call and said he went around. It's a strikeout, and there's one away. First strikeout in a while for Gausman, his 5th of the game, first since the last out in the 3rd. So 1 gone, designated hitter Lars Nootbaar, who led off the game, bats here for a 3rd time. First pitch swing, and he skews a ground ball foul to the 3rd base side. Got a runner on, 1 out. Ildemaro Vargas at first after he led the inning off with a hit. No balls and a strike. Gausman home. Misses outside with an off speed. Chance for more Chicago Cub October magic if they do indeed make the playoffs, which, again, you do have to remind yourself, as here's a 1-1 and a swing and a fly ball out to right center field. Crow Armstrong waves off Suzuki. Makes the grab, and there's 2 gone. Back to first is Vargas. The Cubs have been such a big story this year, as they always are, of course, but you do have to remind yourself their playoff spot is not a sure thing yet. They've only got 4 games of a cushion in the number 1 wild card spot in the National League. Here's Corbin Carroll, who walked his last time up and then proceeded to steal both 2nd and 3rd. Gausman misses outside on his first offering to him here. He struck out looking in the 1st. Did the Diamondback hitter that is on a real hot stretch. 1 ball, no strikes. Gausman delivers. Outside corner for a called strike. Gausman's had good stuff tonight, and he's been consistent. Second start of the year against Arizona. He had a start in this building on April 19th while he was still a member of the Blue Jays. 1-1. Carroll swings and fouls it straight back. He got the win in that game here in April, allowing 2 runs on 7 hits in 6 innings. Trying to get through the 6th right here with nothing on the scoreboard next to the run column for Arizona. 1-2, and that's a called strike 3 right down the heart of the plate. That is the second time tonight that Carroll has looked at a strike 3 that was right over the heart of the plate. So Gausman gives up the leadoff hit to Vargas and then retires 3 in a row. And we are through the 6th. And it is a 5-0 lead for the Cubs. Keep you up to date with the other games going on. A lot of late West Coast games tonight. Cleveland leads Anaheim 4-1 in the 7th. Minnesota leads the Athletics 6-1 now. They're in the 6th. Mariners have jumped on the Phillies 8-2 in the 5th. And the scoreless deadlock in San Diego has been broken. The Pirates lead the Padres 2-0. That's a score that obviously the Diamondbacks are most certainly paying attention to. Cubs to the plate here to start the 7th, starting with Seiya Suzuki. And Suzuki swings and misses on the first pitch to him from a new Arizona pitcher, right-hander Dre Jameson. 12th appearance of the year. He's pitched to a 4.67 ERA across 17 in the 3rd innings. Where's the number 99? Deals to Chicago's number 27 and misses low and away, ball 1 rather, to Seiya Suzuki. Count goes to 1-1. Jameson from the belt kicks and deals. In on the hand, Suzuki punches it foul. Obviously, it was a very difficult engagement out of the bullpen for Taylor Clark, who came in the last half inning needing to get just 1 out to get through the 6th. And he gave up a 2-run home run to Michael Conforto on just the 2nd pitch that he threw. And then on the 5th pitch that he threw, he gave up a home run to Carson Kelly. Turned into a 3-run 6th and now a 5-0 Cubs lead. Suzuki had an RBI double in the 5th. On 2-2, Suzuki swings and golfs one out to straightaway center. Waldschmidt's there, makes the catch, and there's 1 away. So Suzuki is retired. That'll bring up Michael Busch. Busch drew a walk last time up. He's 0 for 2. First pitch to him from Jameson is swung on and missed. Big swing there. Hitting .243 on the season, the Cub first baseman. 0-1 from Jameson. Good movement on that pitch. It's in for a called strike. 0-2. Quick 2 strikes to Busch. Jameson out of the bullpen with a strong start. He waves off Moreno once, now twice. And now he comes home. Busch takes in tight, ball 1. Cubs return back home for the weekend to take on Cincinnati in a weekend series, while Arizona goes on the road. They'll play 4 games in 3 days against San Francisco. 1-2 is high and away. Both of these teams in the middle of the wild card race in the National League. There's one in the dirt from Jameson. Count runs full now. Cubs will close out August with that weekend series against Chicago and then start September by hosting the Brewers for 4. 3-2, punched foul by Bush. Count stays full. In fact, they've got the Brewers in 2 of their next 4 series. Once at Wrigley and once in Milwaukee on, let's see, that series starts in Milwaukee the Monday of Labor Day. Another 3-2, fastball from Jameson at 98 fouled off. Between that, the Cubs are in Miami, September 4th, 5th, and 6th, Labor Day weekend. Jameson with the next 3-2. Bush with another foul ball, and this at-bat, one of the lengthiest at-bats so far of the night, actually. As Jameson comes home again, and that's over but low. That's a great at-bat from Bush, and he draws a 1-out walk. Terrific at-bat from Michael Bush. Brings up Bregman. Bregman tonight 0 for 3. First pitch to him. He swings, attacks, and lines it into left. That's down for a hit as it one-hops into the glove of Kepler. So after Bush with a lengthy at-bat drew a walk, Bregman comes up and on one swing was able to crush it out to left field, right on the nose. And there's 2 aboard. Now Ian Happ, who singled and scored in the second. 1 for 3 on the night. Cubs with 3 runs in the last inning could really blow it open if Happ could come up with something big here. First pitch is low off speed, ball 1. Bush at second. Bregman at first. Full house at Chase Field. A lot of Cub fans mixed in with the Diamondback fans. 1-0 is swung on in line down the right field line. That's down for a hit in the corner. Around third to score is Bush. Carroll has it in right. Stopping at third is Bregman. In with a double is Happ. A run-scoring double, and it's 6-0. That one was absolutely crushed by Happ. 105 miles an hour off the bat. Bush comes around to score easily. And Bregman was initially given a windmill, and then a stop sign was thrown up. So Ian Happ's second hit of the night. A 6-run Chicago lead. And Nico Horner will try to do more damage. 2 in scoring position. He's 0 for 3 tonight. First pitch to him from Jameson. Swung on and lifted in the air pretty deep right. Carroll back. It might be over his head. He reaches up on. He makes a great grab at the edge of the warning track. Tagging and scoring from third is Bush. That will make it 7-0 as Carroll made up a lot of ground out there in deep right to make that catch and at least save 1 run. But Bush able to tag and score. And also tagging was Bregman. He made it to third. So the Diamondbacks bullpen is really imploded here. And here's Pedro Ramirez, who had an RBI triple earlier. He takes ball 1. Cubs beat the Mariners yesterday 19-2. Now they lead Arizona 7-0. They've scored 26 unanswered runs. As here's Jamison dropping in a strike. One, and Ramirez with a hard ground ball to first. Taking it is Tawa, and he calls off Jamison. Tawa to the bag himself will get the third out. But the Cubs get a couple more across the plate. Bush and Bregman score. A lot of hard hit balls off of Jamison this inning. So we'll go to the home half of the seventh, stretch time in the desert. A 7-0 Cubs lead as they have taken full control of this one. So the Diamondbacks with a lot of work to do, obviously, to try to even find a way to make this competitive and look better than it is. Seven runs on 9 hits now for Chicago tonight. Meanwhile, on the Arizona side, no runs across the plate, only 2 hits managed off of Kevin Gausman, who has pitched extremely well tonight, and he is still on the mound to go into his 7th inning of work. He's only thrown 80 pitches through 6. His 81st pitch is down and away to the Arizona catcher Gabriel Moreno, who leads off the Diamondbacks 7th. The 1-0 from Gausman is a fastball that just catches the outside corner. Strike one, says Lance Barrett behind the plate. Moreno would have had a good chance of getting that overturned had he challenged. 1-1. Low and away. So Ian Happ with an RBI double, and Nico Horner with an RBI sac fly to bring in 2 more for the Cubs in the top half of the 7th. Moreno with a swing and a bouncing ball to third that's eaten up by Bregman. Throw to first is in time, and Moreno's 0 for 3 on the night, retired once again, as Gausman just keeps mowing them down. We'll bring up Geraldo Perdomo. Perdomo 0 for 2 on the night. It'll be interesting to see how Arizona goes about this last month of the season in the position that they're in. Again, the wild card races in both leagues are quite incredible to watch. The American League is incredible to watch just because there are teams that are playing really so poorly, as Perdomo takes called straight 2. I mean, all you have to do to be in that wild card race in the American League is just not be awful. No balls and 2 strikes on Perdomo. Gausman delivers. Perdomo swings. Ground ball behind the bag at second. Horner's got it. Ranges to his left. Sidearm delivery to first is in time. There's 2 gone. Gausman just keeps on keeping on. Two gone for Max Kepler. 0 for 2 tonight is Kepler. Gausman's first offering to him. Splitter below the knees, swung on and missed. First pitch strike to Kepler. Now here's the 0-1. And he gets to strike 2 as that fastball is in at the knees. By the way, if you keep seeing me look to my right, there's a reason for that. 0-2, misses low and away. As you have, if you're used to being on this channel and you've been watching the baseball streams that we've had for you on the channel, as that 1-2 is in the dirt from Gausman. You normally hear JT here with me, and he's normally keeping score on the score bug that you see top left of your screen, but he's not here tonight because we finally found a night that was too late for him, would you believe? And any fumbles that you see on the scoreboard, like you just saw a minute ago when it changed to the 8th inning, when it shouldn't have, it's because of me trying to call the game, trying to score the game, trying to keep the score bug rolling. 2-2 is swung on and lasered up the middle. That's a base hit, just the third of the night for Arizona, as Kepler's got a 2-out hit. So yeah, I got all my notes here. Got all my broadcast notes that I'm working with. See, look at these copious notes on the Cubs and the Diamondbacks. Plus, I've got to keep my scorebook straight. Plus, I've got to broadcast and, say all the right words and call the game correctly as Nolan Arenado swings and fouls one away down the left field line. And then on top of all of that, I've got to, after every single pitch, I've got to turn to my right, put in ball, strike, run, walk, whatever. Here's an 0-1. Arenado with a swing and a pop-up in foul territory down the third base line. Coming in sprinting speed is Bregman, and he reaches up and makes the grab in foul territory. And that will end the 7th. Arizona gets their 3rd hit of the night, but Kepler stays put at first. And that is the end of the 7th. See, I just had to send us back to the 8th like I did earlier, mistakenly. We need JT back. We finally found a game that was too late for JT to stay up for. God knows JT stays up all hours of the night and early morning hours to do these games. I tell him all the time that he needs to get more sleep. I feel bad for keeping him up for as much as we do. I need him tonight. For scoreboard reasons and just to have someone to conversate with. Baseball, obviously, a conversational sport. Anyway. I've kept the goofs down on the scorebug, I think, but it's not exactly easy to have all of these things going on at one time and deal with that too. Anyway, Jameson, you people listening care absolutely nothing about this. You're like, please just cover the game, would you dummy? Michael Conforto leads off the 8th inning. 2-run home run last time up. Takes a strike from Dre Jameson, who's still on the mound for his 2nd inning of work. The 0-1 to Conforto is swung on. Hard hit ball is foul down the first base line. Count goes to 0-2. Conforto is 2 for 2 with a double, a 2-run home run, a walk in the 2nd. Here's the 0-2 from Jameson. It's outside. Everyone that's been disappointed by the score bug keeping tonight. Blame JT. Don't blame me, the one that's keeping up with it. Blame JT for not being here. 1-2. Conforto fouls it off. 99 from Jamison there. Conforto and Kelly went back-to-back with home runs in the sixth. They're the two that lead off the eighth here for the Cubs, that lead by a touchdown in Arizona. Here's the 1-2. Conforto with a swing and a line shot into right field. That's down for a hit. His third of the night, as he leads off the eighth inning with a base knock. Single, double, and home run tonight for Michael Conforto. Probably won't get another chance at the plate to try to leg out a triple and complete the cycle. Of course, there was a cycle here in Arizona over the weekend. J.J. Bleday hit for the cycle against Cincinnati. Conforto now has 4 hits over the last 2 nights. Here's Carson Kelly, who takes a called strike. Home run his last time up was the 8th of his career. 8th of the season, rather. See, there is such thing as trying to do too many things at one time. 0-1 is a slider. Swung on and missed, 0-2. This is Michael Conforto's third 3-hit game of the season. Had one in May at home against Cincinnati, then on the 1st of July at home against San Diego in a game where the Cubs won 23-3. He had 3 hits in that game, and he had 2 home runs as well. No balls and 2 strikes. Pitch to Kelly, swung on and lined to short. Perdomo leaps up and makes the catch for out number 1. Hot shot right to short, and good reactions by Perdomo. Conforto, who was, of course, on some really good Mets teams in the past, and then last year with a Dodger team that, did pretty good. Pete Crow Armstrong hitless tonight, 0 for 4, takes high and away. 1 on, 1 out, top of the 8th. Cubs up 7-0. Trey Jamison, the third pitcher that Arizona has used tonight on the mound. The 1-0, and Crow Armstrong with a hard hit foul ball down the first base line. Been a pretty good night for the Cubs. Gausman has pitched extremely well. Offense has been terrific. I mean, it's 7-0. Remember, they left the bases loaded in the second inning, as here's a shot down the right field line that drops just foul. And they're 4 for 4 on ABS challenges tonight, the Cubs as well. So everything they've done tonight has just been just about perfect. See if they bring Gausman out for the 8th inning. He hasn't thrown a lot of pitches to get through the 7 that he has. 1-2 is high. There is some action in the Chicago bullpen for the first time all night long. Ryan Zefferjohn is throwing. 2-2 from Jamison. Foul ball straight back at 98. The pitch was. So we'll see if it'll be someone out of the bullpen like Zefferjohn, or if Gausman will come out for an 8th inning of work. But he has been sharp tonight. 2-2 from Jamison, high and away, and it was not close. Count runs full to Pete Crow Armstrong, who has been frustrated with his performance tonight, 0 for 4 from the plate. Gausman has not gone more than 7 all year long. He's only made it through 7 twice this year, including his first start as a Cub in Kansas City back on August 7th. He went 7 full. He also went 7 full as a Blue Jay in June in Toronto against the Yankees. 3-2, and a swing and a bouncing ball to the right of the mound. Onto it quickly is Jamison, who has to twist his body around to make a throw to first. Bang, bang play, and Crow Armstrong is out. Difficult play for Jamison to make, but he does. That's probably the best defensive play we've seen tonight. And Pete Crow Armstrong is 0 for 5 on the night. Terrific play, though, by Jamison. Conforto advances to second. And here's Seiya Suzuki, 1 for 4 with an RBI double tonight. First pitch to him. Slider misses outside. One ball, no strikes. Runner at second, 2 out. Jamison to the plate. And that's middle for a strike. Suzuki with that very refined batting stance. Here's a 1-1 to him. Slider catches the outside corner for strike 2. So we close in on midnight on the East Coast. Juan Burgos throwing in the Arizona bullpen, a right-hander. 1-2 offering. Suzuki swings on a breaking pitch and pops it up. Foul territory right side. Tawa, does he have space? Yes, he does. On the dirt in front of the dugout, makes the catch. And that puts away the Cubs in the 8th inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. It's all Chicago in this one, a 7-0 lead here in Arizona. Step away and be back in a moment. Seven terrific innings for Kevin Gausman, just the 3rd time this year. He made it through 7 innings complete, allowing no runs on just 3 hits to the Diamondbacks tonight. On 94 pitches, he struck out 6 and walked 1. And it will be the end of the night for Gausman. And Ryan Zephyr-John will come out of the bullpen to pitch for Chicago. It is his 53rd appearance of the season. Start of the year with the Angels. This is his 8th appearance as a Cub, and over his 52 appearances for the season, he's got a record of 4-4. He's pitched to a 4.06 ERA across 57 2/3 innings. And he pitches the 8th for Chicago, and he drops a breaking pitch in for a strike to the leadoff hitter, Tim Tawa, who is 1 for 2 tonight. One of only 3 Arizona hits. He takes outside for ball 1. He was then picked off from first after his hit earlier in the game. Zephyr-John delivers a 1-1. Tawa swings off balance, pops it up out of play. 7, 8, 9 for Arizona here in the 8th. Tawa, Vargas, and Waldschmidt. As the Cubs, after dropping the first 2 of the series in Seattle over the weekend, trying to get a different kind of streak started here with their win by 17 runs yesterday. Here's a 1-2. Zephyr misses high. Twins are heading for a victory over the Athletics. They lead 7-1 in the 8th. Speaking of the Mariners, they're up 8-2 on Philadelphia in the 7th. Trying to snap that Phillies winning streak. Foul ball by Tawa. Cleveland in the 8th leads the Angels 4-1. Zephyr former team. Padres have scored a run. Still trail Pittsburgh 2-1 bottom of the 7th. Giants holding that 5-0 lead on the Reds. That game's in the top of the 9th. That game started after our game did, and it's in the 9th. 2-2 pitch, and a swing and a bouncing ground ball to short. Horner's got it. Snap throw to first. Gets Tawa by a step. There's one out. It's going to be an awfully quick game at Oracle Park. Giants and Reds. Reds have been shut out on just 4 hits. Rafael Devers with a second-inning home run. In fact, the Giants had 2 in the first and 3 in the second, and that's been all the scoring in that one. Zephyr with a strike on a breaking pitch to Vargas. Vargas has one of Arizona's 3 hits tonight. Came last time up in the 6th. He struck out looking in the 3rd. Nobody on, 1 out. Zephyr from the letters. Kicks and deals. Vargas fouls off a sinker to the right side. Again, a lot of teams off today. There's some very important series that start tomorrow, including Astros at Yankees, Brewers at Mets, Dodgers at Braves. That'll get a lot of eyeballs. Orioles are in St. Louis. 0-2 is a swing and a bouncer back to Zephyr on the mound. Underhanded toss to first is in time. 2 away here in the Arizona 8th. Brings up Ryan Waldschmidt. That winning streak that the Phillies are on is 9. They had 2 dramatic comebacks over the weekend against St. Louis. Here's a ground ball on first pitch swing from Waldschmidt to third. Long throw from Bregman across the diamond in time. Zephyr with a 1-2-3 inning, as Arizona still just can't get to the Cub pitching tonight. That will send us to the 9th inning. 7-0 lead for the Cubs. All Chicago here tonight. But yeah, the Phillies, dramatic comeback Friday night against St. Louis. Then an even more crazy one yesterday to sweep the Cardinals, get to that 9-game winning streak. But they trail Seattle right now 8-2. That is in the 7th inning. Again, that Pirates-Padres game, that's very important to Arizona fans. Pittsburgh leads 2-1 in the 7th. Padres leading Arizona by 2 games for the final wild card spot. And I'll be very interested to see the when that Reds and Giants game ends, what the time on that game was, because I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was a 9:45 Eastern time first pitch, which was 5 minutes after the first pitch of our game, and here it is in the 9th before we got to the 9th. Last time to the plate for the Cubs here tonight, barring a wild Arizona comeback in the bottom of the 9th. Bush, Bregman, and Happ, the ones due up for Chicago. If you're new to the channel and you've liked what you've seen and you heard tonight, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the notification bell to get notified anytime we go live. More baseball for you on the channel tomorrow. We'll have Game 2 of that Phillies and Mariners series in Seattle. That'll come your way same time tomorrow night, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Jarek Rubel will have the call for you. Juan Burgos will come in to pitch out of the bullpen for Arizona in the ninth. It'll be just his third appearance of the year in the big leagues, a 3.38 ERA across only 2 2/3 innings. 26-year-old right-hander from the Dominican Republic. Spent time in AAA Reno this season. Deals a first pitch cutter that misses outside to Bush. Bush, who walked and scored last time up, he's drawn 2 walks tonight. Burgos has made 39 appearances in AAA Reno this year. 1-0 pitch, swung on, hard hit, ground ball to second. Vargas smothers it. Throw to first is in time, and there's quickly 1 out. And what is Burgos' third ever major league appearance? Alex Bregman will come to the plate. Bregman singled and scored last time up in the 7th. He takes low. Bregman's been around since 2019, or Burgos has been around since 2019. He's been in the Mariners farm system. 1-0 is high. He's been around. Caleb Thielbar is the one throwing in the Chicago bullpen. Looks like the lefty might finish this one out. 2-0 to Bregman. Called strike on the upper outside corner. Game 2 of this series tomorrow night. Same first pitch time of 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Burgos 2-1. Cutter catches the outside corner for strike 2. They'll play a 3:40 p.m. Eastern Time Wednesday matinee. Bregman is challenged. That's going to be confirmed a strike. Cubs had been 4 for 4 on challenges tonight, but lose 1 there. Counts 2-2. Burgos from the belt, winds and deals. Bregman swings and pops one up. Shallow center. Backpedaling from second is Vargas. Makes the catch out on the grass. 2 gone. Ian Happ will come to the plate. Good night for him. 2 for 4. Singled and scored in the 2nd. Doubled in the 7th. '58th RBI of the year with that 7th inning run scoring double. First pitch, swung on and fouled. Cubs played the long ball game again, which they've been doing all month long with back-to-back home runs in the 6th. 2-run shot by Michael Conforto was followed by a solo blast from Carson Kelly. Their 41st and 42nd home runs that they have hit this month, which is by far the most in all of Major League Baseball. And the next closest is the other Chicago team at 32 to the Cubs' 42. Ball and a strike. Burgos nods to Moreno and deals, and Happ fouls away a fastball. Burgos wearing the number 52, Arizona, with the white uniforms, the maroon numbers, teal trim, white pants, and that dark red baseball cap with the Arizona insignia on the top. Ball and 2 strikes. Curveball is just low from Burgos, ball 2. He was halfway off the mound. Thought he had strike 3. Mariners have added on another, now lead the Phillies 9-2. Pirates have an 8th inning base runner as they lead the Padres 2-1. 2-2 pitch. Happ swings and Flies one into fairly deep right, but Carroll's got room. He reaches up and makes the grab for the third out. That's a 1-2-3 ninth out of the pen for Burgos in his third big league appearance of the year. Last of the ninth with Arizona down 7-0. Fun night if you are a Cub fan. As I've mentioned on a few occasions, quite a bit of Cub fans sprinkled in the crowd. Obviously, more than a lot of Cub fans really everywhere around the country. They are very much like you would see in the NFL, like the Steelers, Cowboys, and Packers. They've got a lot of fans in road games. NFL season, of course, right around the corner. We keep talking about how we're getting closer and closer to busy season here on the channel. It was busy weekend last week with the start of the Premier League season. Tomorrow we've got more soccer for you. EFL Cup action between Ipswich and Leicester. That's tomorrow, 2:45 p.m. Eastern Time. And as we mentioned, Phillies and Mariners tomorrow night at 9:30. Wednesday, Champions League playoff game between Lyon and Fenerbahce at 3. More EFL Cup action Thursday between Fulham and Wimbledon. Friday night, we'll have baseball, Dodgers and Tigers at 6:30. Saturday, the college football season starts. We'll have NC State at Virginia at 3:30. NASCAR final race to make the chase is the Coke Zero Sugar 400 at Daytona. That's 7 p.m. Eastern Time Saturday night. Then Sunday, Manchester United and Ipswich at 11:30. Then at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, the Red Sox and the Yankees. Sunday activity is tentative and dependent on what Mother Nature chooses to do on Saturday night in Daytona. Caleb Thielbar is in to pitch the ninth inning for Chicago, his 48th appearance this year. 3-2 record, a 5.22 ERA across 39 and 2/3 innings. Good strikeout to walk ratio of about 3.5 to 1, 48 strikeouts to 14 walks. It will be the top of the Arizona order that will greet Thielbar. But it is a pinch hitter in Jose Fernandez who will start this ninth inning against the left-hander Thielbar, who comes home with a curveball, and it's a called strike at the knees, but I think Fernandez... Is he going to challenge? No, he won't. He took a long think about it, did not challenge, and now on an 0-1, fastball is lined into left field. That's the fourth hit of the night for Arizona as Jose Fernandez comes in. Pinch hit, leadoff base hit. Fernandez, who's been in AAA Reno this year. That was his 49th hit of the year as a Diamondback. Here's Carroll. First pitch to him is swung on and served into left field on a line, and coming in on a slide is Happ. He makes the catch. Fernandez had broke to second. He gets back before Happ's throw can pick him off. Carroll with a good piece of hitting there, lining it the other way. That's just a really good defensive play by Happ. His sliding grab produces out number one here in the bottom of the ninth. Gabriel Moreno due up next here for Arizona. Moreno 0 for 3 tonight. Only Diamondback hitter so far this season to be hitting over 300, but 0 for 3 tonight. Has dropped his average from 306 to 304. Takes a high strike, 0-1. Batting from the right side against the lefty Thielbar. Breaking ball swung on and ripped foul. Kevin Gausman was terrific tonight. His best start as a Cub. His best start in a good while as well. It'll be his 7th win of the year. The 0-2 from Thielbar is high. And it will be Merrill Kelly who is in line for the loss, which will drop Kelly to 8-12. 1-2 is also high from Thielbar. 7th win of the year, by the way, for Gausman. I believe I said 8th. It'll push Gausman to 7-11 on the season. He made it through 7 innings for just the 3rd time this season, allowing no runs on 3 hits, struck out 6, walked 1. This will push the Cubs to 38-29 on the road this year. And it will be a home loss for the Diamondbacks, which they haven't had much of. So drop them to 38-29 at home. Moreno swings and flares a pop-up into right to Suzuki for out number 2. And the Diamondbacks are down to their last out. It'll be Geraldo Perdomo that comes to the plate. Tough night at the dish for Perdomo, 0 for 3 with a strikeout. Bats with Fernandez at first, 2 away. And Thielbar looking for the last out of this one. Left-hander from the letters fires a curveball. That is on the outside edge for a strike. Arizona will try again tomorrow night, 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time, first pitch for the second game of this series. But tonight it's been all Chicago. 0-1 fouled away by Perdomo. It's 0-2. Diamondback fans will be closely watching the last couple of innings in San Diego. The Pirates currently lead the Padres 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th. 0-2 is high. If the Pirates can hold on and win that game, then Arizona would lose no ground to San Diego in the wild card race. 1-2 is in the dirt. They also didn't lose any ground to Miami, who's just behind Arizona. The Marlins lost earlier today to Boston. They wouldn't lose any ground to Philadelphia either, who's 2 games ahead of them in the second wild card spot, as they're down 9-2 to Seattle. 2-2 from Thielbar, and that's also high, and the count runs full. So if the Pirates can hold on, wouldn't be the worst day in the world for Arizona despite the loss. 3-2, curveball, fouled off. But it would be a win for the Cubs to build up their cushion with the Phillies on their way to a loss. Perhaps San Diego as well. Perdomo, who calls for time, as Thielbar didn't really recognize that, and he was about to fire to the plate. Had to catch himself. Yeah, he was unaware that Perdomo had called for time, and Lance Barrett saw him go into the windup, and boy, he was waving his arms. Here's another 3-2. Perdomo fouls off another one. Keeps this game going with Fernandez at first after he came in to pinch hit and led the inning off with a hit. Not many hits tonight at all. Not much action on the base pass for Arizona tonight. Another 3-2 is fouled off by Perdomo. They only have 5 hits for the night, the Diamondbacks. Only 3 off starter Kevin Gausman. Perdomo still digging his heels in and fighting in this at-bat. The next 3-2 from Thielbar. Curveball is lined up the middle. Diving stop at second by Ramirez. Up to his feet, guns to first on a hop. Not in time. Perdomo with an infield hit. Good play by Ramirez. That diving stop right behind the bag at second to his right. Up throwing, but too late. So Perdomo with a hit. Max Kepler would have been due up, but it will be a pinch hitter for him. Jordan Lawler, in 17 games this year, has hit .286 with 7 RBIs. He's the pinch hitter, with 2 on and 2 out in the bottom of the ninth to try to break up the shutout. Thielbar, first offering, breaking ball fouled away. Jordan Lawler trying to keep this one going. Thielbar on 0-1 with 2 on base, to the plate, in the dirt with another curveball. He likes that curveball. Ball and a strike. Thielbar from the letters. Left-hander is set. Deals. Lawler swings and fouls it to the right side. Arizona again down to their last strike, as their race for a playoff spot has certainly hit a speed bump tonight. 1-2, curveball in the dirt from Thielbar. But as we just documented, if the Pirates can hang on to their late inning lead in San Diego, and as long as the Phillies don't come up with a 7-run comeback in the ninth, which you never know with that team, it won't be the worst night in the world for Arizona. 2-2, Lawler with a swing and a hard line shot into left, but it's right to Ian Happ, and he makes the grab to record the final out, and Chicago completes a shutout victory on the road in Arizona. Cubs win it 7-0. They were able to get 2 runs off the starter Merrill Kelly, and then right when he came out and they went to the Arizona bullpen, it was game on as they attacked the Diamondback bullpen, scored 5 runs off of them, including 3 on back-to-back home runs in the 6th inning, a 2-run shot from Michael Conforto, and then a solo blast from Carson Kelly. And the Cubs end up winning it, going away, a 7-0 final score. The Cubs win it in Arizona. 2 more for these two during the week. 9:40 p.m. Eastern Time first pitch tomorrow. 3:40 Eastern Time first pitch on Wednesday. Cubs will then return home for the weekend against Cincinnati, while Arizona will play 4 games in 3 days in San Francisco, starting on Thursday. Kevin Gausman gets the win, his 7th of the season, his 2nd as a Cub. Merrill Kelly is given the loss in this one. Final score, the Cubs beat the Diamondbacks 7-0. More baseball here on the channel coming your way tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll have the Phillies and the Mariners. 2nd game of that series comes your way tomorrow night with Jarek Rubel. For everyone here, no JT this time, just me, Matthew Owens, signing off. Cubs win it 7-0 here in Arizona. We'll see you tomorrow for Philly and Seattle.